what's up? Long time no see. My name is Ashley if you are brand new to my channel, and I'm super happy that you're here. I get a lot of questions about what is like minimalism in general. Is it like some sort of weird religion? How do I get started with minimalism? First off, if you are completely new to the idea of minimalism, or you may have read blog posts or seen pictures, first off, no, it is not a religion. I'm a Christian personally, and I think minimalism and Christianity both go hand in hand. Minimalism is basically the idea of curating a life that you love, holding on to the things that are most important to you, and eliminating the excess. You know, we all have one life to live, and if we are filling our schedules with tons and tons of activities and things that are distracting us from what's most important, then it might be a good idea to look into minimalism. And minimalism isn't just, decluttering your possessions and only having like one pair of shoes, five shirts, stuff like that. It's about so much more than just the number of possessions that you have. So you may see floating around on the internet that, a true minimalist has 100 or less things. No, that's not necessarily the case. I definitely have more than 100 things, but I've definitely simplified all of my possessions, and I'm only keeping the things that I love. So if you are completely new to minimalism or simple living, simplicity, all those are sort of basically the same thing, I have 5 tips for you to sort of get started and jumpstart your journey towards simplicity or minimalism. So the first tip is to get out a pen and a paper and list what is most important to you in this life. For me, spending time with my family, my faith, and then I'm also a teacher, so that's obviously very important to me. So after you have your list of things that are most important to you in this life, also make a list of the things that you just love to do and that you are passionate about. For example, I love YouTube, and so that would go on my list. I would love to travel and see more of the world, so that's also on my list. So things like that. Alright, now that you have your 2 lists, I want you to pull out your planner and look at your weekly schedule. Sometimes we think that success and having a busy schedule go hand in hand, but you can still be successful and have a life that you love without having a super jam-packed schedule. I remember my freshman year of college, I would wake up and go to 8 a.m. classes, and then I would meet up with friends or whatever for lunch every day. Then I would go straight to work for like 5 hours, and then after work, which after work was like 6 o'clock, I would go to some sort of campus ministry like Crew or the BCM, things like that. And then after that, I would go to sorority meetings, and then after that, I would go hang out with more friends. And so I was gone from 7 a.m. till like midnight every single night, and I was miserable. I didn't understand why I have such a full schedule and I'm doing things that I like to do, but why am I so miserable and burned out? So if you didn't know, I'm a 4th grade teacher, and so for me personally, I know that if I have more than one commitment each week, and when I say one commitment, like after a day of teaching, going to Bible study, or going to, whatever else you could go to. One extra time commitment a week is really all I can handle, and so I make sure that is something that I love, and then I really have gone through my schedule and eliminated all the extra time commitments, so I'm not feeling burned out all the time. So my second tip sort of goes along with my first tip, which is you can apply this idea to all areas of your life. It doesn't have to just be shopping and possessions. It's also with time commitments. It can also be applied to your morning routine or your night routine. Really, it's just a whole idea of life, making things simpler so you can focus on what's important. Alright, so my next 3 tips have to do with the possessions in your life. And so I think the biggest tip for simplifying and minimalism is actually a tip that I got from Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up, which if you haven't read it, I definitely recommend it. I will link it in the down bar. But basically what you need to do is you need to pick up each item that you own and ask yourself, does this spark joy? Does this bring me joy? Now, obviously, material things cannot bring you real joy, but if it is not something that you absolutely love, why do you even have it? Think about, if you were going to move, would you want to load this into the moving van and load it around and carry it around the world with you? Then if not, it's probably not something that you need. So does it spark joy is probably the best decluttering tip I can give you. Now, I know thinking about decluttering and going through all of your possessions can be really overwhelming. So my next tip is to focus on one area at a time. And so when I started simplifying, the very first thing I started with was my closet. Okay, so I took every single item out of my closet and I held each one up and I asked myself questions like, have I worn this in the last 6 months? Do I love it? Is it flattering? Is it damaged? If I got rid of it, would I miss it? Things like that. And if I said no to any of those questions, it went in the donation bin. So just start with one small area. Start with your closet and then maybe move to your books or your movies and things like that. So don't get overwhelmed by thinking, oh my gosh, where do I even begin? How am I going to declutter all of this? It's impossible. It's not. Don't stress yourself out over this, okay? Just start with one area at a time. This can be over the course of a month. Maybe you'll just start with your dishes, whichever area you want to start in that area and then just do it little by little each day. Okay, so for all us shopaholics out there, which I definitely used to be a major shopaholic. So what I do now is, and if you've watched my channel for a while now, you might have seen my 1 year without shopping, which that 1 year has come to a close. And unfortunately, I did have to purchase some clothing items because I was going from a college student to a teacher, and so I definitely needed more professional clothes and shoes that wouldn't kill my feet at the end of the day. So long story short, I will have a whole nother video coming out on that. But basically what I have done throughout this year is, say I pull out my jeans and I realize, oh my goodness, I have a hole in my jeans. I need new jeans. And so I would go to the store and have in my mind, I'm only going to leave with jeans. And I will admit, it was kind of hard, when you're passing all the cute fall boots and all other cute clothes. So really only buy something if you absolutely need it. Don't get distracted by the 70% off rack or anything like that. Go in with a purpose and leave with that item and only that item. Along the lines of shopping, my next tip is the 1 in, 1 out rule. So if you do purchase an item, take an item out, okay? That's a good way to not have things keep accumulating in your home. So, if you go shopping and you find 3 new shirts that you love, take 3 out. Find 3 that you don't wear anymore or that you don't like as much and donate them. Because you could do it great. You could declutter your entire closet and have, the perfect capsule wardrobe. But when you're bringing things in slowly over time, the clutter is going to creep back up. And so the 1 in, 1 out rule is a great rule to stick to. All right, and then my last tip is to revisit these areas often. So when I initially decluttered, that was not the only time I've decluttered. I really am going through and reevaluating things all the time. The other day I eyed a few items in my closet and I just pulled out and put them in the yard sale box since we're having a yard sale coming up soon. So for me personally, at the end of every season, and when I say season, spring, summer, fall, and winter, I will go through all of my possessions and I will really evaluate each thing, each book, each movie, each makeup item, each hair appliance, everything. and I will reevaluate it. And if it's something I haven't used for the season before and I don't think I'll use it again, I will add it to the donation bin. And so that is also a good way to keep things from creeping up, because things are always coming in and out of our homes. And so it's really important to really reevaluate those things often. So I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the down bar below. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!